Okay, everyone. So now we'll understand another very interesting concept of reduce. Okay. So let me first help you understand what are we actually trying to do with reduce. Okay. So I have prepared this one-liner explanation for you. Okay. So the reduce function from the func tools module continually applies a function to the elements of a sequence, reducing it to a single value. So two things to note here. First thing, that will import this functionality from a module called func tools. Now in your upcoming sessions, I have this concept of how you can create your own packages or modules. Okay, so you will understand that when you import a functionality, right, from math import square root. Okay, so how is it actually happening? Instead, I will tell you that in your NumPy pandas lecture, which is one of the modules in our upcoming chapters. Okay, you actually work with packages. You don't write code from scratch. Okay, so you will understand those things. Second thing I want you to focus on is that it reduces down it to a single value. So unlike your map and filter, which were creating a list, okay, which was creating a collection of elements by applying a certain criteria, here we are actually aggregating the values. Single value means we are aggregating. So your min, max, sum, average, all these are aggregations. Okay, so that's what reduce is for. Now let me help you understand, as always, with the help of an example. Okay, so suppose I have this question. Question 1. Print the product of all the elements in a list. Okay, now let's understand how we'll do this. Okay, so again, you can write a simple loop based code to initialize product to 1 and then take product of every other element. Okay, so how I'll write is, first I'll say from func tools import reduce. Okay, so we are importing this functionality from an existing package, and then let's say the numbers are okay, 1 4 3 2. Okay, the numbers are these. You can take any numbers. Okay, and then I say let me take 100 as well. Okay, and then I say product equals to reduce. Okay, simply reduce. Now you will write a one-liner code which is lambda x comma y. This time you are taking two parameters, x comma y. Okay, colon. Now what you have to perform? You have to perform x into y. Okay, I'll help you understand what I'm writing. Okay, and comma, on what you have to apply? You have to apply it over the list numbers. Now first let me print it and then I'll explain you every single point. Okay, the answer is 2400. First let's validate whether this is correct or not. So 1 into 4, 4 into 3, so 4 into 6 is 24, and 24 into 100 is 2400. Absolutely correct. Okay, now what is happening? First thing to note is that you are not typecasting this to a list because it's a single number. Okay, reduce will aggregate, so you will always have the number directly. Here you don't have to perform your typecasting like filter or map. Okay, perfect. Second, x comma y colon x into y. So my dear friends, exactly what is happening is, by default it will always take the first value as x and the next value as y when it starts. So x is 1, y is 4, and it is returning you 1 into 4, which is 4. From next time onwards, this x stores the result so far, or the previously returned results, which is 4, and y stores the next value. So x will keep storing the result, y will keep checking the next value. Next value multiplied by the result will give you new result that will be stored in x. Again new value into multiplied by x, store it in x, and so on. Okay, so far x is 24 and then y is 100. So 100 into 24, 2400, that is stored in x. This is how it works. Okay, as simple as that. Initially it will start with two numbers x and y, and whatever the result is, that will keep storing in x and the new number in y, and it will keep performing x into y, x into y, x into y, and so on. This is how it works. Okay, now Let me take another example. So I'm trying to take as different examples as possible so that you can get comfortable with this concept. Okay. So finding the maximum element or maximum number in a list. Okay, you are given a list and you have to find the maximum element. Okay, I know that you can write a simple loop based code, right? But let's see how we can do this via reduce. So see, I have already imported it here, so I don't have to import it again and again. But if you still want, you can always write like this. Okay, but remember, when I teach you packages, we only import packages once and it is accessible throughout the notebook. Okay. Okay. So let's say numbers equals to same something. Let's take 4, 10, 5, 8 and 3. Okay, let's take this as 15. So you know the maximum element is 15, right? So now what will happen is you can simply say max num equals to reduce lambda x comma y. Again, you can take a comma b, any variable, it's fine. Okay, colon. Now what you have to store? You have to store the larger number. You have to store the larger number. Okay, so suppose I give you two numbers. How you will understand which one is larger? So see how I'm writing. Okay, this is slightly complicated, but this will help you understand how you can put if else condition into the map, into the reduce. Okay, or lambda functions for that matter. So you will say if x is greater than y, sorry, if x is greater than y, then I want x, then I want result as x, else I want result as y. Does this look similar to any of the concepts? Yes. In your course of fundamental Python, I have taught you concept of list comprehension. Okay, there we have written such code. There we have written such code, and I have helped you understand this in very detail. Okay, how you can put if else in just one single line, and you will apply this criteria over numbers. Okay, you will apply this criteria over numbers. That's it. So when you print max num, okay, you get 15. Why 15? See, as I told you, if you don't give any number initially, it will take this as x, this as y. And you are saying, is 4 greater than 10? If yes, store or return x, else return y. So you will return 10. Then 10 will be x and this will be y. Are you understanding? This is x, this is y. The maximum number so far is x and the next number is y. So is 15 greater than 10? Yes. So you will store 15 as the new max. Then you will compare 15 and 8. 15 will remain the maximum element. Then you will compare 15 and 3 and 15 will remain the maximum element. So x will always, the first parameter will always store the result so far. And the next parameter will point to the next element to check if that gives the value. Interesting, right? So let's solve one last question. Okay, one last question, which is question number 3. So concatenating strings in a list. Okay, this is also a very good use case. So suppose I give you words, same, let's say Aditya, comma, Jain, comma, New York. Okay, perfect. Now if I simply write, okay, sentence equals to reduce. So again, I'm reducing a list of strings to a single string, which is a sentence, right? So I'll say lambda x comma y colon x. See, I want to concatenate by putting space in between. So space and then y. So x plus space plus y. Okay, comma. Okay, comma. I want to apply this over words. I want to apply this over words. Okay, so when I print the sentence, I will get magic Aditya Jain New York. Okay, instead let me do this so that there is no confusion. Okay, Aditya space Jain space New York. If you want to put hyphen here, put hyphen, you will get Aditya hyphen space Jain hyphen New York, one single string. Okay, so this is how you can play around with this concept. Now, one last concept that I like to tell you is the third parameter, which we usually don't use, but again, it's my responsibility to make you aware. Okay, so suppose in this, I'll say bonus content. Suppose in this, if you have to start with a particular number, you don't have to consider this as x. Okay, so you can put that as a third parameter. Let's say I put so 2. Okay, let's not put 2. So let me make it x plus y. So you are taking sum of every element, and I want you initially to start with 1000. Okay, so what will happen is 1 plus 1000 will happen first. So 1000 will go to x, 1 will go to y. So whatever the sum is, you will always have plus 1000 at it, because it is starting with initial value as 1000. Okay, so if I run this, see, this is 1 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2, okay, which is 5 plus 1 6 10. So this is 110, and you are adding 1000 to it. So 110 plus 1000, 1110. Okay, if you put 2000, so initial value of x will be 2000, and then it will say 2000 plus 1, store the result, then plus 4, and so on. Okay, sum. Okay, so yeah, I hope that this very detailed session on reduce was useful to you. Please keep practicing, and please apply as many logic as possible. Okay, so thank you.